Hi, this is Simon Candy from Acoustic Guitar Lessons Online.net, and in today's video you learn how to get better quicker on guitar through the process of setting goals, but not as you know it. Most people set goals, those who do, in ineffective ways, and when they come up short, when expectations aren't met, you feel inadequate. And the reason why is because you're setting the wrong expectations. You're sort of measuring the wrong thing, if you like, and you come up short, you feel bad, you quit. In this lesson, I'm joined by guitar practice expert Mike Philippov to discuss and demonstrate how to set goals to ensure that every time you sit down to play guitar, you meet those goals, you achieve them. Mike is going to take you through his all-important method for setting goals with your guitar playing and the all-important switch to focusing on the actions and processes needed to achieve a goal rather than the goal itself, which is what most people do. If you've ever felt overwhelmed with your playing, you feel like you're falling behind, you're not making the progress you think you should be making, this video is for you. Let's get to it. I think we might be on 3 now.
Yeah, we're on 3 now.
Okay,
and this one is about setting goals, goal setting. And everybody thinks they know about goal setting, but almost everybody that I've met sets goals completely wrong. What everybody thinks, nearly everybody thinks about goals is in terms of the outcome they want. So to give you a non-guitar related example, like you want to lose weight. Okay, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 3 months, or on guitar, I got to get my fretboard memorized by Christmas or something like that. That's an outcome you want by a certain deadline. And I find that to not be very helpful, both psychologically in terms of your mindset and just in a concrete way in terms of how much progress you're going to get from the time you spend working on the goal. And the reason I say that is because we don't control when we can get a certain outcome, especially if you're relatively new to playing guitar and you don't really know how long it's supposed to take to reach whatever outcome you want. Memorize the fretboard, learn some music theory concept, or get some song under your fingers or whatever. You don't know, you're just guessing. So if you guess incorrectly and you give yourself too little time to reach the outcome you want, well, obviously you're going to fail to hit it, and then you're going to feel bad about yourself, and chances are you may doubt your potential or get depressed or whatever. You're not going to feel very good, let's put it that way. On the flip side of that, though, if it actually takes 3 months to reach a goal, but you give yourself like a year, and you simply take a whole year to reach that goal instead of 3 months, well, you've kind of coasted through that year where you could have achieved a whole lot more in those 12 months than you did simply by estimating how long it was going to take. So my suggestion there for setting goals is, instead of thinking in terms of outcomes, think in terms of processes and actions you're going to take. So if your goal is to memorize the fretboard, let's say, if that's the outcome you ultimately want, instead of shooting to hit that outcome by a certain deadline, you make a list of the things you're going to do every day and when you're going to do them. Let's say you do them away from the guitar while you're driving to work or whatever. You commit to doing that. This way, if you can just commit to doing those actions for, let's say, 3 months, after 3 months go by, then you can look back and say, okay, how far have I gone? Because you know that whatever outcome you want, you just want more of that thing. You don't just want to learn one song. You want to learn, 50 over time. You don't want to just learn the notes of the scale, one string. You want to learn all strings. You don't want just one milestone. You want the whole thing. So you just look back and see how far have you come in the time you spend practicing. And if you're unhappy with the outcome, you can always refine the process and you commit to a different process for the next month or 3 months or a week or whatever. This is a much better way, in my opinion, in my experience, because you control 100% the actions you're going to take, and it's black and white if you're hitting the milestones every day or if you're not. That's first. And you're also not, there's no way for you to feel disappointed either, because you're not expecting anything specific to happen. It's just like, okay, are the actions working? If they're not, change the actions. Or if the actions are working, then just do more of them. Or if they run their course, then you just change the actions. So I find that mindset to be very, very helpful for both myself and my students.
That's a really good way to set the goals. I often am telling my students to enjoy the process. If you don't enjoy the process, it's going to be tough work, right? Because you're going to be really waiting on these results, and to kind of, have something a little bit more black and white, as you say, where you know what the goal is. It's achievable because you've, naming 1 to spend 5 minutes naming my notes every single day is something you can say, yes, I either did that or I didn't do that. That was my goal. Great. And, if you keep doing those things and readjusting as you go, because as you say, you're once you've got at least a reasonable sample to look back on, you can go, okay, well, yeah, it seems to take me this long to do this, and okay, it's always going to be hard to say how long something takes with guitar, but if you enjoy the process and you do the right actions each day or most days, it will happen. How quickly depends how much time you want to put into it, but certainly regular practice, as we say, but with really clear objectives per practice session, not a distant goal that you hope to get to, is definitely that's great.
And what you said about enjoying the process,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's not on my list, but it should be. I'm stunned that I forgot to put this on the list. That is, I'm actually going to talk about this because I have kind of a specific way to enjoy practicing that I found to be useful for me. That's not necessarily going to be applicable to everyone. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I'll just throw it out there. One of the things that I always enjoyed before I even started playing guitar, I would watch movies like the Rocky movies, for example, and I was huge into the training montages, and everybody loves those because they got like millions of views on YouTube and stuff. And what once I started playing guitar, I tried to see myself as Rocky, in a sense, training for the fight, and I thought that process itself was cool. And as long as I knew what to do and I could in some way measure my progress along the way, even if I was just sitting there working on finger independence, like, okay, I got to push this finger down and make sure it's like the technique is flawless, which is not fun by most people's standards. But if you just change the frame or the lens through which you look at it, as opposed to I'm doing this boring thing when I want to be, playing, it's like, no, I'm training to develop a skill that I don't yet have, but when I will have it, is going to be awesome. That is where the fun part comes in. At least that's how it's been for me.
When you're confident that what you're doing is going to give you results, and you build that over time, because you start to do things, and if they don't work, you change things, the way you're going about things. But things that work and you get the results, then you go, oh wow, okay, great, that actually is working. So it really helps. There's some things when you practice, you're not always in the mood to practice, or there's some things you enjoy doing more than others, that's for sure. But overall, I love any time I can put into my playing that I know is going to make me a better player.
For sure.
So it is a really important thing to know that what you're doing is working. If it's not working, then you want to change that, and you want to have confidence that you're doing the right things, because you don't want to be sitting there wasting your time. But certainly, once you know that there's that reward of the skills that you're building at the end of the the practicing sessions, it's a good incentivizer to practice. And I do really enjoy the process of practicing pretty much as playing. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe not everyone's like that, but I do believe everyone can find a way to enjoy the process, and you'll just find it really starts to flow then, because the results will just start to come, because you're just in a better mindset to be taking in the things and practicing the things that you're doing.
And also to kind of smoothly move into the next point, and also to tie off what we're talking about. Going back to finding the fastest tempo of flawless playing, if you do that, you can't help but enjoy the sound of that's coming out of your guitar, even if you're playing at like 50% of the speed of the song, for example, because the notes sound so good. It almost doesn't even matter that it's not fast enough yet. So in my world, everybody wants to play fast. It's probably not quite the same for acoustic players, but
definitely. Yes, not in the context of your world, Mike. That's for sure. But definitely, just the speed, the fluency to play something, or to fingerpick through a tune, or to connect the chord changes in time with the music. All those things, all that fits under the banner of what you're talking about here too, right?
If you like this video, you'll love this ebook complete with video examples called 10 melodic fingerpicking patterns you can learn in 10 minutes or less. Do you struggle to make the fingerpicking patterns you learn on guitar sound like music? Perhaps it's because you believe in one or more of these fingerpicking pattern myths. 1. You need to know a lot of patterns to have your fingerpicking sound musical. 2. Only advanced fingerpicking patterns sound musical. Easy patterns are too basic to sound any good. Or 3. there is a magic pattern out there somewhere that once found will finally have your fingerpicking sound the way you want it to. None of these myths are true. This is because fingerpicking patterns alone are not musical. They're technical. It's what you do with the patterns that will determine how musical they sound. In this ebook, you learn how to make the most boring fingerpicking patterns sound amazing instantly. Plus, the simple trick to make advanced fingerpicking patterns easier to play. And the thumb and one finger trick that's so simple and will have your fingerpicking sounding pro in no time. Click the link in the description below this video and download your free ebook complete with video examples, 10 melodic fingerpicking patterns you can learn in 10 minutes or less. You'll have it in your inbox within minutes. Let me know in the comments section what acoustic guitar topics you'd like to see covered in future videos. I love to hear from you, and a lot of the things I do cover in these videos are suggested by you. So don't be shy, drop us a line in the comments below. If you like this video, then hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Hit the all-important notification bell button, of course, so YouTube can tell you when I've released a new video. This is Simon Candy from Acoustic Guitar Lessons Online.net. As always, I really do appreciate the time you take to check out my videos. I hope they help you with your playing, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.